Hello and welcome. This week I've been thinking about some words we keep hearing. Light at the end of the tunnel. Light at the end of the tunnel. How often have you heard those words in recent months? Sometimes it's felt a bit over-optimistic. I'm reminded of that jokey remark. Perhaps the light at the end of the tunnel are the lights of the oncoming train. Or sometimes the light seems to go out. Perhaps the track has gone round a bend away from the light. But sometimes, just sometimes, we've felt that there is light. Perhaps most of all, thanks to the fantastic work, day and night, of those working to produce and then now to deliver the vaccines. Millions of pinpoints of light to be spread, we pray, all over the world. We do need light. We long to see bright days, as Catherine was talking about last week. And we're glad to see the days lengthening, even if, as my mother used to say, as the days lengthen, the cold strengthens, as it did. So light at the end of the tunnel, it's very welcome. But I was brought up short by a Christmas letter that we had from a wise friend of ours this year. The message of Christmas, he said, is not just about light at the end of the tunnel, but that the light of the world, brought by Jesus, is always with us in the tunnel. Many of us heard those wonderful words from St. John's Gospel at Christmas. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has never quenched it. Or some other telling words that I often think of. Not all the darkness in the world can put out the light of one small candle. The candle still shines, however deep and dark the tunnel is. Now, some of you may, like me, be old enough to remember the world events just over 30 years ago now, when the various communist regimes behind the Iron Curtain began to crumble. And I think particularly of East Germany, because of Christians I got to know later from there. Christians who were denied for so many years through the massive power of the police state, the freedom that we take for granted to worship, denied promotion in their everyday jobs just for being Christian, spied upon and charged with false accusations. And then I think of that small group of Christians who quietly met regularly on a Monday evening in Leipzig, simply lighting candles faithfully week after week to witness to their faith in the light of the world. Then their numbers growing gradually, having the courage to have peaceful torchlight processions through the streets, until these became national events, something that no political power could hold back. The whole climate of opinion of a nation changed, and new life and hope was born. What a contrast with the desperately sad, violent scenes we've seen in the United States in recent times. My German friends knew it was, in another old saying, better to light a candle than curse the darkness. For not all the darkness in the world can put out the light of one small candle. Today, in this pandemic, yes, we're still in the dark of the tunnel in so many ways. And yes, we're glad for every candle that has been lit. And in our own lives, perhaps some of us are able to light a candle, literally, or through some word or act of kindness to offer light and hope to those around us. But even if you feel at the moment you're in that tunnel and you can't, I pray that you will know that Jesus, the light of the world born into that dark stable in Bethlehem, is not just waiting for us at the end of the tunnel. He is the light in the tunnel for you and for me.